like to call the meeting to order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Madam Clerk, would you please read the notice of the special meeting and then call the roll?
Certainly. Members of the town board.
Special Town Board meeting Thursday, October 16th, 2025. Please be advised that pursuant to Section 62 of Town Law, a special Town Board meeting will be held both in person in the Town Board Meeting Room, Southampton Town Hall, 116 Hampton Road, Southampton, New York, and via video conferencing on Thursday, October 16th, 2025 at 10 a.m. for the purpose of considering the following: resolutions, if any, amending the 2026 tentative budget, convert 2026 tentative budget to 2026 preliminary budget, and schedule public hearing. Notice of public hearing to consider any increases proposed in the maximum amount to be expended annually in the Town of Southampton special districts. Maria Z. Moore, Supervisor, Town of Southampton, dated October 10th, 2025. Supervisor Moore.
Present.
Councilwoman McNamara.
Present.
Councilman Iacilli.
Present.
Councilman Pell.
Here.
Councilman Martell.
Present.
Thank you. All right, we have to start with the public portion. I don't have any cards for today, but Kevin, is there anyone on Zoom for public portion?
No one on Zoom.
Okay. All right, so this is our opportunity to just discuss the budget and the different aspects of it in case anybody has concerns or questions. You've been able to live with it for a couple of weeks, and one of the features is that there were 9 positions created, and after meeting with the department heads and speaking with them and discussing it with Dorothy, I thought that was appropriate, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody felt comfortable with the 9 additional positions.
No, I'm definitely comfortable with that. I think we've been a little short-staffed over the last few years, especially, in different departments, our codes, in building here, and I think it's appropriate that we give the community the staffing levels that they deserve. So I'm happy with the additions.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, we offer a lot of services, and we're busier than ever.
Right.
And if we want to keep producing and meeting expectations in the community, we need to do things like this. Last year, we created 14 positions, so we are building the ranks back up.
I will be asking for an additional position in Parks and Recreation. The Beach and Recreation Division, I'm just paraphrasing this from a letter from Kristen Doulos, who actually apologized for not getting this in previously, but literally they were so busy and she really hadn't had time to think about, staffing for next year as far as the office goes until after the season. She said the Beach and Recreation Divisions alone are incredibly time-consuming and involve the onboarding and management of approximately 200 employees, in addition to vendor contracts, concerts, and the scheduling of all of the lifeguard certification classes and recreation programs. Currently, we have 1 staff member overseeing those 2 divisions, and she has no full-time recreation or beach support staff. So I am asking that we create a new position in the title of Recreation Program Coordinator to assist with that and to make it easier, because right now we are using part-time staff and their time is limited due to contract constraints, so this would be a full-time position.
And that's understandable, and she did write to me as well, and unfortunately, it was the tentative budget had already gone to print at that point, but it's understandable that it was her incredibly busy season, so she hadn't been able to put the paperwork together.
And to clarify, she reached out to me because I am the liaison to the Parks Department. It wasn't because she chose me. I'm her liaison to the board.
I'm just looking for the,
But the truth be told, the Parks and Recreation Division is huge. It's becoming more and more important to the town budget, to their budget, and the addition of personnel is a natural course we have to take. We're even getting requests for down the road to have somebody that is east and west of the canal that oversees facilities and lifeguards, and so on. So it's a growing division, and we need to continue to support it.
I agree. All right, well, we're going to have a public hearing on October 28th, and then another one on November 12th. So we could do the specific resolutions on the 28th, since we don't have them here today. That way Dorothy can have an opportunity to put the numbers together. And then it would also give the public an opportunity to talk about it on the 12th, November 12th. All right, the other aspects of the budget are, of course, the operating day-to-day budget, and I did add, I'm trying to each year put money in there for the road paving, just to get it off of the borrowing cycle and into the more, yearly, you can count on it's gonna be there. And then there were certainly the projects that were requested, and I did distribute summaries. I don't know if you brought them with you or if you wanted to.
Yes, they were very good
refer to
summaries.
them, but, many of the departments had things that they wanted. Most of it were bonding, some of it were not, some of it's gonna go in the operating budget. But I don't know if any of the department heads came to you all afterwards and said, oh, I didn't get this, I want that, or, maybe you thought this was too much, we should do it next year. But I'm happy to talk about it, if there was anything you saw that jumped out at you all that you were concerned with.
Again, the only addition that I have is, as liaison to the police department, they did ask for a small increase to their data line contracts lines. They had a change in arrest processing, so this wasn't something that they knew about. It came about, and it's all to comply with state mandates. It's not an optional thing, so, honestly, we have no choice, but those amendments will be made.
I'd like to just highlight
I'm
within.
sorry, I was distracted. What were you
For the
referring
police
to?
department, there's a change in arrest processing, which it needs a software upgrade, and also they have to increase their web storage needs. So those are two state mandates that are not optional for them, that they have to comply with, and so
That
those
was just.
came down after
considered
the budget
too,
was
yeah.
already in
Mhm.
process.
Michael, were you starting to say something?
Sorry.
No. I just wanted to thank everybody on the board. A lot of these things we've all been working on together. And just a few things that I wanted to highlight. The traffic management software in the police department, we've been working on that, and they're gonna have more capabilities of helping us manage some of our traffic needs, and that's really great.
I know the
So-
lieutenant brought that to you.
Yep, thank the lieutenant and chief for helping to coordinate with that. Also in the budget too, we have funding for the Schaffner House improvements. I worked on that with Councilwoman McNamara. And also, working with the board here on the funding for the Noyak Road repaving project. There's money in there to complete that work with Charlie. Of course, Hampton Bays, I know, with the water district, you and Rick have been doing some great work with Bill, and I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for working together on that. I think it's a good budget.
Yeah, they're all really great, the department heads, and they want to do, what's best for the community, and we need to give them the money to do their jobs.
Yes, and the help.
Yeah. All right, well, then the other thing is just last year, there was, we had given a salary increase to the administrative employees, and, this year we're planning to do increases for the union staff that's being negotiated, but there could, if any of you had any thoughts on any particular employees that you thought their salaries needed adjustments, I'm sure you'll bring that forward.
Yes, we will.
There may be some requests.
There might be some requests, and it would be best, I've been told, that we do that at the following meeting, so we can have the actual resolutions in place, so that Dorothy has an opportunity to put the numbers together for that. Well, that's really all I wanted to say. I want to thank Dorothy again and Kathleen for working so diligently with me for the last couple of months on this, and it's always an interesting experience and so rewarding to get it done.
Does
I
anybody
do want to
know?
say thank you, as always, for all of your efforts on this. I did want to mention that we didn't say yes to everything. So if anybody's out there
Yeah.
listening, there were a lot of no's in this budget. But I think the fact.
There were a lot of what?
A lot of no's. We couldn't do that this year.
Oh,
We paused some increases in some
unfortunately, yeah.
projects. But, the idea of the pay-as-you-go, more than just bonding everything with the interest rates the way they are and keeping our AAA rating and so on, I think is a great tactic. So I'm glad that we're paying up front for more of these projects. So I think it was a great job. Thank you.
Sunday, do you know how many copies of the budget are actually printed?
More than the ones that you have?
There's like one for each department, too.
Not of the tentative.
It's just for us?
Yeah, that's,
Because I'm gonna, ask next year that I forego a printed copy, because it's so much work and money and time to do a tentative and then a final, maybe we could just print the final and do the tentative on,
well, they
it's
get
just.
switched out. It's not like
Oh, I
they
know, but
reprint it
the
all over
printing
again.
and the time that
No, I
goes
understand,
into.
but it's not something that's underneath me, but in our experience, we need to, the law requires that we have
Yes.
paper, and we need to have one of each copy. And we have it, also, it's still but available to the public in my offices in Hampton Bays. But all of
Absolutely
you,
want to
can
comply with
opt
all the
out,
requirements,
I'm
but
sure.
I would personally opt out of receiving a paper copy next year.
Some people like
I know.
yourself, like the digital, but some people like the paper because the notes and stuff.
Yeah,
I still like flipping pages. I think we're okay with this.
to each his own.
I do like paper. Yeah, as Rick mentioned, we certainly didn't say yes to everything. There were a lot of requests that we couldn't accommodate, but, I did the best I could with this tentative, and I know you're all doing the same, and, if the money were limitless, we would give raises to everyone. But we're just trying to be even-handed and do the best we can, so appreciate everybody's patience in that regard. All right, well, if there's no other comments, then we should move forward with the resolutions. There are two resolutions on for today. The first is Town Board Resolution 2025-1213 to convert the 2026 tentative budget to a preliminary budget and to schedule a public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And so that public hearing will be October 28th, the first of two. And then Town Board Resolution 2025-1214, notice of public hearing to consider any increases proposed in the maximum amount to be expended annually in the town of Southampton special districts.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And if there's no other comments, then I move to close the special meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.